Hello everybody, this is Eve Starr Malay with Eve Starr Fiber Arts up here at the beautiful Chalet Malay in the Ozark Mountains. This is the second week of March 2019, and I've had a really difficult winter just health-wise, so I'm behind. So I'm going to just do an overview of what I've been doing and just kind of get you caught up a little bit. Now, when it comes to needle felting, I love to needle felt my view, and this one was inspired by November's view. Try to keep my camera off of it. And as you can see, I've got basically my mountains up there, kind of faked my river in because it's up right over there, but you can't really see it from here. And I love how these dead trees turned out. So I'm very happy with that, and my husband Nick made a gorgeous frame, you'll see it in soon, where I can pop out, easily put in and remove my 12 by 12 views seasonally, with every season or every month, whatever I want to do. So he just finished that. It looks just like my deck with even the lights wrapped around the poles. It is so cute. He made it out of cedar from the yard. So I'll be sharing that. So that's not my latest needle felting, but latest one that's finished. Now over here, you'll see some crewel, and this was one of the first things I learned how to do when I was about 8 years old, was crewel embroidery. And I stuck with that for many years, cranking out lots of stuff. And my favorite style of crewel is this. It's called Jacobean. It's from the Jacobean period in England. I don't want to be specific, but somewhere in the 1700s. And it's these stylized paisley-like forms, and the tree of life was a real popular motif. This one was an old Elsa Williams kit. This is linen it's on, which I love working with. And I use chenille needles, which have a point, but a long slit for putting the yarns in. And that works really well too. So this one I did a lot of, my own embellishments with, because I love making a million little French knots and things. And over here I have a real score I got a few years ago. This is vintage crewel yarn, and it's the best. It's also by Elsa Williams. It's really thin Persian yarn. Doesn't come in 3 strands, just one. It's super soft, and it truly is moth-proofed. I've never had a problem with any of these. And this is gradient. It's gradient yellows. And so if you really want to do like long and short stitches like here, to do a gradual fade of color, it's perfect for that. By the way, this is a buttonhole stitch. So are these petals here. This is like a woven stitch here. And like I said, a whole lot of French knots because I love those. Now, if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I just finished this guy too. And this one I love because I bought it years ago before we knew we were going to get to live here, and reminded me of my childhood in Ohio. And where we live now is similar to that. So it's very homey, and I love the mid-century vibe here. Just the whole feel of the style. And of course I added zillions of French knots. Those were supposed to be just strands sticking out all over the place, and I didn't like how the water looked. But that is just finished. That one was just called Waterfall. Now I have a larger tree of life by the same designer, and it's quite a bit larger if you take a look with it next to the original. 2 different sizes. They're meant as a sampler, which means that you try out and learn a bunch of different stitches and then keep it as a reference for later when you want to do some other stitches. So I just got started on this one. I usually start with the backgrounds and then work like flowers and things last so that they'll pop forward. This is also on linen. I wish they hadn't printed the design with such a bright color though. But other than that. And then this is a groovy little number. You might have seen the small mushroom one I did a while back. If not, you can scroll backwards on my Instagram. It's eve.starr, 2 R's, Malay, M-I-L-L-A-Y, phonetic spelling, at Instagram there. And you can see the little version of this. This was supposed to be all gold and brown, and of course I couldn't stomach that. So I got my favorite books on embroidery, found a bunch of stitches that I liked, and I've been working on it that way. And it's going to be big. I don't know. I might make it into a pillow because I can't think of where I'd hang it. But anyway, I thought that was a neat blast of the past. So the abreaster I've got for sale in my shop. I've got a few left. They're mostly gone. Well, I've run out of time on this video because I like to use this super high definition.